All right. This is a low energy green room, the green room podcast, or whatever the fuck I name this goddamn podcast. Uh, this is going to be a short one. Hopefully, I'm just I'm fucking tired. I haven't I haven't did one of these in maybe about three weeks, 2 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. I went out to Dripping Springs, Texas, and I had fun out there, hung out, and then kind of stopped recording these for a while because I didn't really see there wasn't really shit uh, anything that I needed I felt needed to be recorded. I mean, the only thing I can think of is I finished The Last of Us 2 recently, and it was I fucking loved it. It was, definitely it's that's got to be. I've played a lot of games, and I mean that's probably the best game I've ever played. To me, it was a fucking masterpiece. I loved it. Um, but I don't want to. I got friends who listen. I got friends who listen to this podcast. I mean, that's the only people who listen to this podcast right now, which I have no fucking problem with. That's neat. But yeah, I don't want any of my friends to get a spoiler by listening to my fucking podcast. And I just rather not. I'd rather wait on it. I don't want to ruin that game for anybody. I fucking loved it. Think it was fucking awesome. It's some flaws for sure, but story wise, I fucking love the story. The story for me was the story was fucking perfect. Just about. Um, it was an amazing game. I loved it. But anyhow, gonna make this one really short. Just so I could at least say I fucking did one, or that I'm at least keeping it up to some capacity. But yeah, I really don't feel like fucking doing this. uh, you know, and I mean, no. I mean, if this was a bigger thing, which I kind of don't want it to be. I kind of like it being kind of like looking at those views and going, nobody's paying attention to this shit. I could just go out there and sling some random bullshit out. Well, not necessarily random bullshit, but I could talk about whatever. I don't feel like I'm gonna get fucking persecuted for it anymore. Just going and looking, seeing the views, and it's like, okay, no fucking 3 views. Okay, well, ain't got to worry about my fucking life getting ruined over this shit. I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't give a shit. It's just, I don't know. It's the world is so fucking random. You don't know. You don't know what kind of shit is gonna fuck you over. You might as well just go out there and fucking do whatever. But goddamn, I'm so fucking tired right now. I don't even know what? I'm gonna fuck this podcast. I'm gonna start over, do another one. Know what? That's funny. Went to reach for my mouse just now to cut off this recording so I could do another one, but I don't know where the fuck my computer mouse is. Well, I think I know where it is, but I just reached for it and it wasn't there. And I will take that as a sign of fucking and not start over this fucking stupid podcast. If it's a shit podcast, fucking deal with it. Who the fuck am I even talking to? This is nobody listening to this motherfucker. It's just so fucking random. But I don't know. This kind of feels my fucking podcast feels more like a fucking vlog than not a vlog. What would you call this? A audio blog? Olog? Og? Ugh. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck to call this. I don't. I'm just. I'm so fucking out of it. I'm tired. I would love to go to sleep. I have a fucking interview that I gotta prepare for. My interview is in 2 days. I really haven't fucking prepared for it. Well, I mean, I just got told yesterday that my interview is, right around the corner, but Still, I would much rather do something other than prepare for this interview. But at the same time, I need a fucking job. I need a job fucking big time. This is kind of life or death, in terms of money. And I mean, money is kind of life and death. Unless you just pick up a gun and you start fucking robbing people, then it's still life and death. Uh, but mostly for somebody else, whoever you're robbing. But robbing people's not a good idea. I don't think I'd ever do that. I mean, unless it was like fucking, like if I was like Robin Hood. Well, not Robin Hood, but if I was like fucking robbing evil people, like bad people, like, oh, this guy's a bad dude. Okay, well, I don't mind robbing that guy. But I've never robbed anybody. That's not really my career path. Um, rather do something less shitty. Uh, but man, I really want to end this fucking podcast, fucking ASAP. But I'm gonna stop bitching about it. I'm gonna stop bringing that up for just a couple of minutes. You know, I was reading this article today about the fucking birth rate declining, and oh, oh, well, this is a practice podcast. I'm gonna just call this a practice podcast. Still throw it out there. Why does this podcast suck so bad? It was practice, motherfucker. Get off my dick. Now, also I have another fucking podcast to be on today. Going to be on Sane's Oak Cliff Beach today, and hopefully he has some energetic shit to say to make me more energetic myself, because I really don't feel like saying jack shit right now. I'm just fucking okay. Not gonna bring that up anymore. But yeah, I was reading this fucking article about the birth rate declining and how it's gonna bring about these economic hardships and all this shit. And they're saying it's because of, women being able to have access to fertility pills and fucking a lot more women in the, workplace, having power and shit like that. But that article, I think it was a BBC article. Yeah, it was a BBC article about the declining birth rate. Something about it leaving you, the effects of it will be jaw dropping. One of those fucking clickbaity fucking titles. Uh, but I mean, they didn't at all mention like fucking. I don't think they mentioned at all. I want to say they didn't mention, how fucking wages. Well, no, actually, I think they did mention like livable wages or like I don't know. I guess when I read the fucking article, it made it seem like, the main issue is women have contraceptives pills, birth control. That's what the fuck it's called, birth control, and they're working now, and they have a higher status in society, and that's why the birth rate is going down. They didn't say shit about men. They didn't say like we're motherfucker. We put the babies in them. Like, how the fuck are you not going to include us in the fucking article? Obviously, we're a part of what's going on too. But anyhow, that part was kind of stupid. The fucking diagnosis of the problem, was kind of inadequate to me. Uh, I'm like, they didn't really talk extensively about, how I can barely take myself out to a fucking restaurant. Think I got the money to take a female out to the restaurant and go get her something to eat. And I mean, I not to say that all females are like, hey, you got to take me out to a restaurant if you want to get with me. I've met women who say, hey, I'll tell them that. I'll be like, hey, man, I don't have the money to go take a girl out to. I can't take myself out to a restaurant. I can't afford to take a woman out anywhere. And they'll be like, hey, my first date with my husband was at like fucking McDonald's. But how many fucking men are like that? How many That's the kind of shit I'll hear one of my female friends say, like, "Man, if this guy if a guy tried to take me out to McDonald's, like, I wouldn't even go on a date." Like, how fucking rare is that shit? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a lot of you females out there, uh, fucking get you fucking come into contact with these guys who are like, "Hey, I'll take you to McDonald's and it'll be the best day of your fucking life." I don't know. I don't know. I haven't encountered that kind of shit. Uh, but I'm no fucking serial dater to begin with. I always thought that shit was weird, dating multiple people at the same time. I mean, I know they say you got to leave your options open, but that's just so disingenuous to me. Like, hey, I'm gonna take you out because I'm interested in you, but I'm also gonna be taking out these several other people, afterwards because I'm interested in them too. You're all like pieces of meat to me. That's the way I look at it, when I hear that shit. I don't know, that's weird. But well, maybe it's not that that's weird, it's that I'm weird. I'm the outlier in that shit. Apparently that's what everybody else does. But I don't know. This whole fertility thing, I'm like, man, I think it's more of a fucking money issue. No way I could fucking afford a kid right now. I don't know anybody who can afford to pay for a child right now. You know? Like, kids are expensive. You want to give your kid the best life you can give it, and then you fucking turn on the news and it seems like, oh shit, we're about to be in a fucking civil war, or oh shit, the fucking climate's changing, all humans are about to be extinct soon. All this negative bullshit going on. Who the fuck wants to have a kid? Who wants to bring a kid into that shit? I wouldn't. I don't. Like, I would hate to have a fucking kid and be like, hey, kid, hey, you're the future, and kid, the future is fucked. You're gonna get nuked probably in your lifetime, and the world's gonna end. Like, who the fuck wants to tell their kid that shit? Uh, Not me. But I don't know. Maybe the BBC article had it right. Maybe it's fucking contraceptives and this other shit. But I really think it's all the bullshit going on, and at least for Americans, I think the majority of Americans are, not in a position, or young Americans, young millennials are not in the position to go, hey, let me have a fucking kid, that I can't really take care of that well because, I'll always be at work. My wife or significant other will always be at work. And we won't really have any relationship with the child because we'll always be out working and trying to make fucking ends meet. Like, who the fuck wants to do that? Not me. I don't get that shit. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe everybody else is doing financially pretty good. I mean, I was doing pretty good financially for myself a couple of years ago when I had a really high stress job with a lot of bullshit, but it paid adequately. I mean, for what I was doing though, I should have got paid fucking more. I should have got paid a lot more for what I was fucking doing, but these greedy fucking companies and the fucking greedy government and all this bullshit, they're not paying people reasonably well, especially not for what you're doing. I mean, the wages have been fucking stagnant for what, since the 70s or whatever. I don't know. I look at shit now and I'm like, man, I hear older people talk about what they were able to do with their money. And I was like, man, what the fuck? You had that kind of job and you were able to, what? Like, I mean, even when I had the good job, I couldn't go out to restaurants like quite frequently. I mean, well, maybe because I tip people and I didn't fuck people over on tips. Maybe that was why, you know. I don't know. I don't know. This shit is all weird. This shit is whatever to me. I honestly do not give a fuck no more. The world is just gonna be on some weird shit, you know. I don't think I would love to say like some fairy tale shit is going to happen, and wages will rise up, and Jeff Bezos will start paying his employees good wages. But I don't think that shit's going to happen. Not I can't say I'm incredibly optimistic right now. That universal basic income thing looked really good, and I was voting. I was definitely rooting for Andrew Yang to win the election, but I saw the election. I saw the fucking Democratic debates, and I saw kind of how they neglected to talk to him, and how all his interviews were, all they could talk about was, for the most part, I only saw one interview where they talked about something other than universal basic income with him, and that was on the Ben Shapiro show or whatever. He's that guy. Andrew Yang has a lot of good plans. I mean, he definitely wants to move America forward, but it just he did not get a fair shake in all of this shit. Definitely with those debates, though. Those debates, him and Tulsi Gabbard, they're the only two people on that fucking stage that I feel like really could have did something for Americans and America in general. But they got fucking shafted. Nobody was, and Google fucked over Tulsi Gabbard. They fucking did some shit to, I don't remember, it was like delist her name from the fucking internet after the debates when people were trying to search for her. Some bullshit happened, you know. But Google got away with it, and hey, now I'm on Google, I'm on YouTube, but they're not gonna suppress me. They don't need to, because I'm only getting 3 fucking views of fucking podcasts. Pretty suppressed enough in terms of getting my voice out there. And I mean, even then, I could probably, if I took this podcasting thing, you know, super seriously, and I really worked on it all the fucking time, maybe I'd get a lot more views. But I mean, it's in the early stages, and honestly, I'm just doing this shit for fun. It's almost like a type of therapy, just to sit down and talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about, just to discuss your society and all this shit. But yeah, man, Andrew Yang, he didn't get a fucking fair shot. Neither did Tulsi Gabbard, in my opinion. Like those are the people who should have been held up. But you got this whole polling thing. I've never taken a fucking poll in my life. If you can talk to 10 people and find one of them who participated in one of these polls, then I would be like, okay, maybe the polls are actually being done. And because let me be more in depth here. Uh, to move on to certain stages in the debates, you have to or to move on to the next stage of the debates, and just to be on the fucking ballot for the presidential election, there are these polls that they have that you have to reach a certain amount on. But the thing about the polls is, I've never taken one of those polls in my fucking life. Nobody I know has ever taken one of those polls. So I'm like, okay, these polls determine who ultimately ends up on the fucking ballot. And nobody knows who the fuck is taking these polls. Like, isn't that fucking weird? I mean, I've never taken one of these polls ever. And I don't know anybody who's taken any of these polls. So why are these polls so fucking important? Who decides who gets polled? Shouldn't everybody get polled? That sounds kind of funny. Get polled like you get. That sounds kind of violent or some shit. That sounds horrible. But like, who the fuck is out here getting polled and deciding the fate of the fucking country? Because I didn't get that chance. Ain't this a fucking democracy? Don't I get a fucking chance to say, hey, I'll put my guy up there, put my guy on the fucking ballot? I think it's bullshit. I think that's why I think I think somebody decides who gets polled, and they shape the ballot. They shape the ballot ultimately, you know? Because I knew so many fucking people who knew Andrew Yang, young and old people. And like, none of us got polled. None of us got to say, hey, well, let's put fucking Andrew Yang on the fucking map. Let's put him on the fucking ballot. Or Tulsi Gabbard. I really think it would have been so awesome if like maybe Tulsi Gabbard would have ran for president and Andrew Yang would have been her vice president, or vice versa. Andrew Yang is president, Tulsi Gabbard as vice president. That would have been cool. I like those two guys. They seem like actual people. They seem like they actually want to move the country forward, especially Andrew Yang. I like this his idea of helping to take the money out of politics, at least when it comes to presidential elections. And his idea, I think it was called I can't remember what it was. It was some kind of plan where it was basically like democracy dollars or something like that. That if you want a candidate to run, or if you want a candidate to be on the ballot, instead of all these big ass companies and fucking lobbyists fucking pushing up a candidate and giving them money, it would be the people. The people would give their democracy dollar to that candidate, and I think I don't know if it was either the government giving that candidate money to run or however that worked, but the plan itself was really fucking good. I mean, it wasn't something that would have been super fucking costly. Like, look at this fucking everybody was talking about, oh man, you could never do the fucking universal basic income, but look at there's so much fucking money on the fucking stock market that's like not being taxed, and there's all this bullshit out here going on, and we got those what are those things called? The fucking coronavirus, like the stimulus checks. Everybody in America got a stimulus check, and it was part of some bigger bill. But when you look at the amount of money that the stimulus check costs, it was a it was a it wasn't even half of the cost of that fucking whole bill, you know? So it's like, why the fuck are these why the fuck do the actual American citizens come in fucking third or fourth place? Why are the banks and this thing and that and the other being propped up? If they couldn't keep up, if they fucked up, shouldn't they die? Isn't that how evolution works? And I get it. There'll be, some kind of fallout if that happens. But I don't know. Like at this point, I don't trust the fucking expert opinion or whatever kind of bullshit they're gonna tell me. Say, hey, yeah, the American people, sorry, you guys gotta come in fucking fifth place. I don't trust that shit anymore. I can't really say I ever trusted it. Whatever kind of fucking logic that they come at me with, or whatever kind of fucking rules, and say, hey, look at this here and this here and this here. It all comes off as bullshit now. Because the government lies to us too fucking much. Not just the government, just fucking, I don't know, it's like we've got a fucking oligarchy instead of, or not an oligarchy, sorry, aristocracy, instead of a fucking democratic government. It looks like a fucking aristocracy. It looks like rich people ruling everything. And I don't know, like, that just goes back to the fucking fallen birth rate. You think I want to have a fucking kid to come work in your fucking factory? That's the life I'm gonna put out there. A fucking employee for you. Fuck you. I'm keeping my fucking kids and my Kleenexes. Yeah, yeah, fuck that shit. I'm not fucking producing anything for this fucking machine, this fucking bullshit, man. Oh, can you tell I don't like the government? Yeah. I also read another article, I think yesterday, that was saying something about like the minimum wage in America is you with the minimum wage in America, there is like you could not afford a two-bedroom apartment or a two-bedroom anything anywhere in America. Like the minimum wage, you would have to work, I think I read that you would have to work 97 hours on a minimum wage job to be able to afford to have a two-bedroom apartment. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? So that means if you married somebody and you guys both had minimum wage jobs, somebody would have to work 7 extra hours a week just to be able to live in a two-bedroom apartment. And I mean, you also have to consider a two-bedroom apartment or a two-bedroom house. Either way, those costs go up. Like, what if the property value for that apartment goes up? And they'll raise your rent. Your rent will go up in an apartment. In fact, I'm going to have to leave my own apartment probably like a month or two because the rent's going to be too fucking high. That's what a load of bullshit. Like, who the I mean, I'm not even well, right now I'm not working at all. That's why I'm hoping to get this fucking job. But I mean, I haven't worked a minimum wage job in fucking years, and I've barely been fucking like able to save money, and not even a lot of money, you know? Like this shit is getting more difficult, not less difficult. I was like, why would I put up with this bullshit, man? Why would I why would I have kids and make this shit even harder? I don't know. I don't get it. But like I said, I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of like, man, what the fuck happens? I don't see this shit is not sustainable. It's not sustainable at all. And the craziest thing is to me is why do people have to be so fucking greedy that nobody else can live adequately? Why does a person like Jeff Bezos need, fucking however $300 billion, let's say? Why the fuck does he need that? If and I'm not saying he hasn't worked for it. I mean, that motherfucker's worked. He's definitely worked hard. He's I saw this. I normally talk shit about Jeff Bezos, but for a second, you gotta appreciate his vision. That motherfucker is a really smart guy. You see, I saw this picture of him, like this really early on picture of him at Amazon, and like the Amazon, he's at a desk and he's working, and the Amazon banner is behind him, and it's like just some like fucking banner that looked like it came from like Party City or some shit, and they just wrote Amazon on it, you know. So he definitely he built that shit. But my thing is, why the fuck would you hoard that money like that? Why would you like once you get $1 billion? I feel like you don't. I mean, I feel like $1 billion is more than enough for anybody. The rest of that shit should be going to your employers. I'm sorry, not your employers, your employees. Your employees should be living it the fuck up. They should fucking love you, not go, man, I'm barely fucking surviving. I hate this motherfucker, but I gotta keep working here because I have no other choice or I'm gonna fucking starve. What kind of shit is that? And it's not sustainable. Eventually, that motherfucker's gonna get tired of that shit. He's gonna get tired and he's gonna try to find a way to kill your ass. And it's so fucking stupid. Why wouldn't you put him in a position to be, maybe he doesn't need to be a billionaire too, but I mean, he's working for you. He's doing a good job. Obviously, he is a part of the reason why you have that fucking $1 billion. So put him on too. Don't make him hate you. Like, isn't that fucking common sense? Shouldn't your employees be happy too? Shouldn't they be able to go, hey, I work one job and I can take care of my wife and kids. My wife don't have to work. Like, wasn't that a model in the past that seemed to have been really good? you know? But I don't know. Maybe rich people just really want people to come and fucking kill them. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. What the fuck can you what the fuck is there that you can't do with, let's just say, $1 million is a lot of money, but it's not in the grand scale of things, it's not a super crazy absurd amount of money. I mean, it's a lot of money for sure, But you can spend $1 million in your lifetime. You can spend $1 million. But like after you get up to like 500 million, what the fuck are you doing to spend all that money? Like in $1 billion. I mean, honestly, $1 billion. If I had $1 billion, I wouldn't need no any more money after that. I'd be done. Money? Oh, I don't need no more of that. I'm retired from needing money. That would be over. But I don't know, man. It's fucking nuts. It is fucking nuts. And I I don't understand why people feel like they need so much money and why they feel like they need to screw everyone else over. I mean, I would think if you want to maintain that money, if you want to be rich as fuck forever and live a good life, then make sure that none of the people around you are poor, because then they won't feel like they need to destroy your shit. They won't. I mean, but honestly, at some point, you probably have so much money you wouldn't care if they destroy your shit. You could just buy more shit. But why waste the time buying more shit when you could keep everything you have and everybody can fucking love you, because they'll be saying, "Oh man, that fucking billionaire, he's got $1 billion, but you know what? I got 100 fucking thousand. I'm okay. I'm living life and I'm gonna be just fucking fine." And part of it is because of that billionaire. You know? I don't I don't get it. I don't get it. But I'm done bitching about billionaires and, honestly, after after fucking 500 million, what the fuck do you need that extra money for? And after a billion, after $1 billion, do you really need any more fucking money? What the fuck are you buying? Tanks? You don't need those tanks. What in the fuck are you buying where you need more than $1 billion? I don't get it. I do not fucking get it. 10 million? Okay, I could see why you could. Yeah, 10 million, 100 million. Okay, you want to live it up. I see you. You do you, boo. You know, 500 million. Damn, you are fucking crawlers. You're fucking swimming in money. Shit. 750 million. Okay, you might have some kind of mental issue. You much money you fucking need, bro. But it's a billion? Just one of them motherfuckers. 1 billion? And you feel like you still need to keep making more money for yourself? No. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Just get the fuck out of here. You know, it's absurd. It's fucking ridiculous. And at the end of the day, I think we're gonna maybe one day get to the point where people start, well, where the fucking billionaires gotta look over their fucking shoulders. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, they probably already gotta look over their shoulders. But where they really gotta look over their shoulders because somebody's already pointing the fucking gun at them. And it's stupid. Why would you risk that shit? It's so dumb. I will never understand that. And if that happens, I will be laughing at those billionaires because it'll be funny because it was completely fucking avoidable. But enough of me bitching and moaning about fucking people with way more money than me. Um, I will now bitch about what fucking how long have I did this fucking podcast? I was only It's only fucking 30 minutes. Oh, sounds like fucking 33 minutes. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like what the fuck I was talking about, but god damn, man. Maybe I'll make all my podcasts a lot shorter. I don't know. I'm not feeling it today. But I at least want to put something out there. I want to see that number of podcasts go up. I may even do 2 podcasts today. Or I should say 3 technically. I may do this one. I may do the the beach one, and then I may come back and do another one because I just want to see that fucking number go up. I just want to see that counter go up. I guess that's what this podcast is really about. It's just because I want to see that number go up because I'm not I'm obsessed with seeing that number go up. It's just this is it's like a little piece of history for me. I could come back and look at this shit one day and be like, "Oh, this is how I was feeling on fucking what's today? Today is what? No, July 15th, 2020 at 3:37. You know, I can go, "Hey, that's how I was feeling at that fucking time." Okay, let me be more specific. It's 3:37 and 30 seconds. Okay, there I go. That feels better. Maybe I have OCD or something. I don't know why I needed to do that. But I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there into the world. I don't expect people to listen to it. I don't expect people to be entertained by it. Excuse me. Oh, damn. I'm just throwing it out there because I feel like it's a little piece of history. Not even an important piece, but, somebody 10, 10 years down the road, if we're still around that long, maybe it'll be just 2 years down the road. Maybe it'll be, 6 weeks down the road, whatever. Maybe somebody will listen to it and go, huh, this is how this one guy felt on these issues. This is how one of the average Joes felt. Because at the end of the day, I'm an average Joe. Maybe they'll go, hey, this is how one of the average Joes felt at this time. This is what was on his mind. This is how he felt about an issue. Maybe that is aligned with some of the other average Joe's view out there that person has heard or whatever. And then they'll go, okay. And then they'll keep doing what the fuck they were doing. And I mean, that's really that's my greatest hope for this thing is that somebody listens to it and goes, "Oh, I remember that somebody had that viewpoint." That's all. Nothing grand. I mean, I would hope there are like, some of those fucking daydreaming things where you sit down and you go, "Oh man, I wish this podcast would just grow and take off magically without any fucking I mean, it's not necessary it's not hard work. I do have to do a little bit of work for this shit, but it ain't hard work. Not by a fucking long shot is it hard work to me at least. But sometimes you get those daydreams where it's like maybe this podcast would just take off and maybe Zhang Wei Li, the most beautiful and fucking badass MMA fighter ever, is just going to be like, oh my God, that podcast is so good. I'm going to take this man and lift him up and I'm going to marry him. And then you go, I'm fucking delusional. And then you just decide that if somebody hears the fucking podcast, that's good enough. But hey, you can it's nothing wrong with having a fucking absolutely fucking batshit insane fucking daydream every now and then. So Zhang Wei Li, if you're listening to this, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm waiting. Um, and that is fucking all for today. Well, if you're listening, you learned something new. If you listen to the end, you learned something new about me. I like Zhang Wei Li. She's fucking hot. And I like her personality too. She seems really cool. She seems like a really badass person. And she seems really sweet. For somebody who can like be covered in the other fighter's blood at the end of the fight, she's a fucking badass. And I mean, for somebody who can be covered in her opponent's blood, she's a really nice lady. It seems like she seems really sweet. It seems like the image of a martial artist that like a Bruce Lee. When I have Bruce Lee in my head, she's like the female Bruce Lee. She's fucking awesome. Um, so I will end this podcast here. I think, hey, it's a bite-sized podcast. I ain't nobody. I'm a fucking average Joe. I'm me. I'm not nobody. I shouldn't say I'm nobody. I'm me, and that's the best I can be. So I'll get the fuck off of here, and if you're listening, have a fucking good day. Have a good night. You know, keep on living. You know, maybe there's some light at the end of this fucking tunnel. But until we get to that light, keep on fighting.